So, field placement. As I said in my take 5, I was at Gibsonburg High School, which was different from not only my past educational experience as a student, but as an ECCO member. Because I was at Wade High School all year, uh, my freshman year, because I loved it there so much, and I figured I should probably get some experience in an urban, or I'm sorry, a more rural area. And so I decided to go to Gibsonburg. Or I didn't decide to, you did, but you know how that is. And so I go there, and it's completely different from Wade High School. Wade High School had like 4 or 5 floors. Like the place looked like Hogwarts practically. And obviously, the student body was very different. And Gibsonburg had one floor, just one floor, which was different. It was a relatively new building. I think it's like 10 years old, maybe a little less than that. Um, Student body was quite different. And then we had the middle school was also a part of the same building. One half was the high school, one half was the middle school. And I was with the high school. I was one of the few people that actually had a supervising teacher the first day, because I'm not sure if we've been working with Gibsonburg schools before, but they were pretty confused as to what we had to do, really. And for a long time, there were a lot of echo fonts, as you would call them, just chilling in the library until a teacher or somebody needed them. While I was lucky, thank you, I think you might have had something to do with that, I had a supervising teacher from day one, Mrs. Bailey. She was great. I couldn't have asked for a better supervising teacher. She's super into what she does, and super into the kids, and understands that there's some things that not everybody agrees with, rhymes with, it's just Common Core. Then some people are really against that, and she plays the game. She understands that that's what she has to do, but she does it in a way that doesn't seem all bureaucratic and bullshit like that. And so I learned a lot from this woman, how a huge part of education, huge part, is not always changing, not always remaking the wheel, so to speak, but taking the wheel and rolling with it in the way that you find fits what a wheel should do, but isn't, you know, you get the analogy, I think. And so she was pretty cool. Day one, it was funny. I was in there, and then she found out that there was like six students in the library just doing nothing. She's like, bring them in here. So we had this huge table of myself and fellow Echoans just grading papers on them. It was like a machine, and it was pretty funny. And from then on, I'm pretty sure as field placement progressed, those students got to work with a teacher one-on-one, so that's good. But I had Mrs. Bailey, and I didn't get to go as often as I felt like I did last fall semester to field placement, because I started later. There's a fog delay, which is crazy, and then I had more substitute certain days and stuff, so it wasn't. I wish I had more time with Mrs. Bailey, I guess, because I wish I could just soak up everything she was saying. She was so cool. The kids loved her. Kids spent so much time in her classroom from all throughout the year. She taught predominantly freshmen, but there were kids from 9 through 12 in her room all the time during their breaks and stuff like that. And so that was really cool. I got more observing, because she had a student teacher, actually, someone from Bowling Green, and I more or less understood that he kind of had to take more of the reins of things, but I got a chance to like work with him type thing, like him and I were team teaching. It was really cool, actually. And she just kind of kicked back and made sure we weren't, being too stupid, I guess. And it was great learning experience. It's cool to kind of get the perspective from him as well as my teacher. Like, it was like double mentoring program. I double dipped with the supervising teacher like thing. And what else? I've never like seen a teacher or more or less the students, they just really opened up to Miss Bailey about all kinds of different things, and she was just found a way to be extremely relatable for these kids, which is, primo, ideal, and she was just so, she was just being her. She was being honest. She knew that Common Core sucked, but she's like, so, I know that you guys might not want to do this, but she explained why it's still important. And the kids, for the most part, were like, yeah, okay, you're right, Mrs. Bailey. And I was like, what? Like, I feel like teachers more try to, cryptically sneak little things into their lessons that, oh, they don't even know that they're doing this. She was just bluntly honest, and the kids responded to that really well, and I really, really like that. What else? She had freshmen, as I said before, and she had regular education, honors students, as well as she team taught in a class with at-risk students. And it blew my mind. I was like, holy shit, this lady really wants to help these kids, and she did it pretty flawlessly with all three of these sets of students, or classes, so to speak. And she had some just great participation from all these classes, and I feel like she really got the best out of all these kids in the situation that they were in, and that was super cool. I'd never knew that teachers could be teach all these different things, and I'm interested in what kind of qualifications you have to go through to be able to teach like different things, not just like honors or something, but like to be like how I can help team teach a special ed class and stuff like that, because that's super cool. What else happened? I really got to, because Mrs. Bailey was so close with her students, I guess instead of more this semester, as opposed to last semester, I did a lot of the teaching as well as getting to know the kids. Well, this semester, I did more getting to know the kids as opposed to just directly kind of doing lessons and stuff. And I thought that was great. The kids knew, like, the kids who knew me, and the kids who were just kind of passing by were just like, oh, whatever. But, there were days I would come in and like, oh, hey, Mr. G, hey, Mr. Graver, stuff like that. And there's a sort of, a relationship. I knew who they were, they knew who I was. I wasn't just that stranger coming in their class in the middle of their instruction every Thursday. And, yeah, they were great. And, I got to offer them advice on college and stuff like that. I feel like that's a part of field placement that I feel like is underutilized. Like we, as how is it? What are we? Teacher candidates. That's the word I can think of. Are supposed to be some strange entity when in reality we're just college students, and I feel like we could offer these kids, these older high school kids, like in the AYA position, a lot of very helpful advice about different college things like that. Like one of them was asking me about different programs that BGSU offered, and I was able to kind of put in a little advertisement for us and stuff like that, and I think that's very important, just as important as, in teaching them as the regular content and stuff that you would learn in high school. So I really enjoyed that. Mrs. Bailey, she has a lot to say, and she'll say it. And it was funny. I asked her one day, I said, Mrs. Bailey, what do you value most in a teacher, in a person? And she said something that I definitely agree with, but I guess I wasn't anticipating to come. She said a sense of humor. I was like, okay. And she said I think that's she said that she thought that was her greatest aspect about herself, that she has a great sense of humor, and that's gotten her out of many a situation, or just really